Hi, I'm Treasure. Thank you for joining me. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about innovation and the dance police. Now, what do I mean when I say the dance police? To me, the dance police are those dancers that feel compelled to come and school you about what it is that they think that you're doing wrong. Now, I want to be really clear. I'm not talking about when someone is doing something in such a way that they're going to be physically injured. I'm talking about dancers that see your style, your technique, or some piece of etiquette that you were taught, and they come and tell you that you're doing it wrong, and often they may even say you should be ashamed, you should do it this other way, and they may even go so far as to say that what you're doing is immoral. And I have both witnessed and experienced encounters with the dance police, and every time it happens, I feel so sad. And it makes me wonder what could be the motivation for these dancers. Because not only is there the obvious thing that when you talk to somebody like that, when you're talking down to them and you're trying to humiliate them and censor them, they're not real likely to come over to your way of thinking. Way beyond that, what I think about is all the really beautiful and interesting things that wouldn't exist in our art form if people like Martha Graham and Bob Fosse had been suppressed by the dance police. There's a lot of really innovative and beautiful things. We wouldn't have hip hop, we wouldn't have Lindy Hop, we wouldn't have tribal or cabaret belly dance. None of those things would exist if the dance police were allowed to censor them and stomp them out. I think that it is a trap that we need to guard ourselves against, to think that whatever it is that we were taught is proper and correct and somehow superior to somebody else's experience or somebody else's technique or style that they were taught. I think it is a really dangerous and vicious trap. I think that it can hold us back in our own art, and I think that it can hold back our art form as a whole. So I want to, no matter where you stand on this issue, you know, if you are a traditionalist or a preservationist, I applaud that. I think that preservation is just as important as innovation. And in fact, now that I'm an older dancer, there's a lot of things that were taught to me that by teachers who have passed away or they're retired that I want to preserve and pass on to another generation. So I get it. I really do. But I think that it's so easy to think that there's only one way to do things. And I think that it's very harmful. And in fact, I feel so strongly about it that when I make corrections in my class, I don't tell my students, you're doing it wrong, or you shouldn't be doing it like that. I tell them that's not the step that we're working on right now. It's just an issue that's really important to me. So no matter where you stand on this, whether you're very strongly disagree or whether you agree, I want to encourage those that feel censored, and I also hope that if you're somebody that stands on the other side of the fence, that maybe I can give you some things to think about and kind of open you up to somebody else's way of thinking, you know, kind of see how others may view things. So I thank you again so much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next video.